Well, we're downtown Topeka here. It is 6:35 on Thursday morning. You see the temperature here says 30 degrees. About 1 minute ago, it was 31 degrees. So obviously the temperature here is going down rapidly. The cold front that was projected has now entered the Topeka area. And as I was out driving just a moment ago, the precipitation, light precipitation that is falling right now, kind of a light mist drizzle, was freezing on my windshield. And you can anticipate the roadways here becoming very, very slippery in the next few minutes to the next few hours, probably for the remainder of the day. Now, we know several school closings that are of interest. You've probably already heard this if you've been watching local television or if you've checked cjonline.com, but we'll tell you right now, schools throughout Shawnee County are closed today. That includes Topeka Public Schools, Auburn-Washburn Schools, Seaman Schools, Shawnee Heights Schools, all the Catholic schools, and Caw Valley District, all closed today. No school, because again of this impending weather that's coming through this area. Now, right now the streets aren't bad, and you can kind of be lulled into that false sense of security, thinking the weather is just fine. Remember, these roads are going to get slippery, folks, here in the next few minutes as cars start rolling in. We urge everyone to go slowly, to take their time coming into work here this morning as they come into the Topeka area, as they go throughout northeast Kansas. I've already heard of several accidents. I've heard of a rollover in Pot County, now down near Wamego just a short time ago. Don't know if there was any injuries in that, but again, we do see some street trucks out treating the roads here. You see one going by right here on 7th and Kansas Avenue as we're in downtown Topeka. Take a look at the flags up here right now, folks. I mean, it is getting cold. It's cold and getting colder all the time. And these flags are just whipping around here at 6:34 in the morning, 6:37 now it says, I guess. So at any rate, the temperature is plummeting, and maybe you can even hear the flags rippling and whipping around in the breeze here this morning. The other thing people have to be aware of, not just driving but out walking, the streets and sidewalks can be very, very slippery in the morning hours here as the roads here begin to ice over. And we just urge everyone to take caution, stay in if you can. Again, no school today in the Shawnee County area. Most all the school districts have gone ahead and just shut down for the day. Probably a good idea to err on the side of caution, as we don't really know exactly what this cold weather is going to bring. And very little traffic right now in downtown Topeka at this hour, as normally is the case here on Kansas Avenue, but elsewhere lots of traffic is picking up. And again, you can see the streets are glistening, they're slick, they're just not at this point real slippery, but that should be coming here again as the temperature we see right here is 6:30. It's at 6:38 is 30 degrees. Again, to remind you, several organizations are closed today. Check cjonline.com for those closings. Lots of schools are closed. All the Topeka area schools are closed. 501 is closed. So all the kids have a day out of school today. That means mom and dad got to find somebody to watch the little ones, right? If they got to go into work. Auburn-Washburn is closed. Shawnee Heights is closed. Seaman is closed. All the Catholic schools are closed. Only Silver Lake, Rossville, St. Mary's, they're all closed. And virtually all the school districts have decided to go ahead and close here right in this Topeka area today, again, as the weather is projected to get worse and these roads are going to make driving very treacherous here later in the day. I'm looking here. Here's where the wind is coming. I don't know if you can hear it. As soon as I get around this Equity Bank building, I mean, I just met with a blast of wind coming straight out of the west, folks. That's just cold front just hitting me right now. And it is really, really, really cold. If I stay over here, I'm not so bad. So I'm going to be heading back indoors momentarily. I just wanted to give you a little feel for what it's like down here in downtown Topeka. And again, do stay in if you possibly can. Keep up to date on all the goings on with cjonline.com. Says watch your step. I'm going to try to be careful. Y'all be careful too out there. And we hope you have a good Thursday. Do be safe if you get out and about. And we'll report later if we have more info. Check cjonline.com. We'll keep you up to date, and wishing all a good Thursday. Reporting from downtown Topeka, Phil Anderson, cjonline.com.